Hey everybody, it's Joey again. I decided to make a video on a Chinese knife company called Ganzo, and this is going to be about the Ganzo 720, but really any of the G700 series. I didn't really ever think I was going to buy a Chinese knife company knife, but you know, they have Riade coming out now that are supposed to be really nice and really good. A friend of mine just got one and raved about it. And they also have Kaiser. You know, they have the Vanguard series, and then you step up and you can get the S35VN from the VG10 to the S35VN. But anyway, the Ganzos are all 440C, and from what I've seen, it outperforms that OS8, and it outperforms HCR13 MOV pretty easy. And it's also more rust resistant than HCR13 MOV for some reason, than mine. Like I collect the Tenacious models from Spyderco, and I don't really own a lot of Kershaws because I don't like the Chinese made Kershaws. I think they're just a dime a dozen. Everybody that I ever run into, that's what they EDC if they carry a knife. I try to be a little bit different, like most knife aficionados. But, you know, even if you are a knife aficionado and you're a collector, or someone like me that is kind of a collector and has a love and sincere love for the art of the tool, and I consider it art too, I think that they're well worth it. It was a bad first shot. So everybody's seen the 720. It's based off the line Still SR1. You know, it has full frame liners. They're milled just around the lock, I think. But I've been EDCing this a lot, so it's probably got a lot of pocket lint. I'm gonna try to show you the inside. I doubt it's gonna show up though, just with the glare. But there's a little milled out spot right there, and that's only for the axis lock. I call it the axis lock. I don't know what they call it. They may call it that. This knife rusted just around the thumb hole on me because I sweat really bad, and here in Louisiana, you know, yada yada, like I said before, man, it's August, so 100% humidity, 100 degrees most days, unless it's raining really good. But anyway, all I did was take some metal glue and a Q-tip, and I rubbed it around the little thumb stud, and then I took the other side and I wiped it off, and it was gone. So I can say that my rat has never rusted. My rat 1, and it's OS8, and none of my cold steels have ever rusted, and that's OS8. But I can say that this AX holds up just as good. I can't say that it's better yet, but it holds up just as good. And being that I can get a model that's a copy of such an expensive knife, that I don't want to pay that kind of money for, because I know that I'm never gonna use it, you know, per se. I'm not gonna. I might a little bit, but not anything hardcore. But anyway, so the biggest thing about making this video is, you know, buying American versus buying Chinese. And I think that, you know, most people buy Chinese, almost, God, I don't know. If I had to throw a percentage out there, I would say 75% of what you buy at Walmart is Chinese. You know, excluding food. But, you know, the rumor has it, I don't know if this is true or not, because I haven't seen any, I don't know if you can call anything on the internet reputable source, but that the same companies that are producing the Chinese Kershaws and the Chinese Spydercos and the Chinese yada yada and the Chinese made yada yada for the American companies, some of those guys got together and they created their own knife company. And at least it's not a clone. For God's sakes, finally, it's not a clone, it's a copy, because it says Ganzo on it. And it said, you'll hear me say Ganzo too, because it's just, I don't really know how it's said. I think it's Ganzo though. Anyway, the spine on this one's really thick, and I like beefy knives. It's kind of heavy. You can look at another video or look up the specs, because on these, I mean, it's not special enough to me to just sit here and just dissect. But, you know, it was special enough to me to get the orange model. This is the one I have not EDC'd. And, I mean, if I want you to look at the grind lines, if this will pick up. I want you to look at the grind line and look how perfect. Come on. Okay, starting from the base all the way to the tip. And then here, starting at the base, then all the way to the tip. This is Chinese made. I just got a Tenacious in the mail, the blue one with the satin blade. And the grind lines were all tore up on one side. And it was sharp, I mean, don't get me wrong, but it literally looked like a roller coaster on one side. It was just, the grind was way high in one spot and really just barely there in another spot towards the tip and the base. I should have had that knife out for this video. I may show it in my next one. I have a 740, a Ganzo G720 that I'm very impressed with. It's actually easier to actuate the axis lock, because this axis lock, if you look from the side, the handles are so thick that you can barely see it right there. Now you can see it because I'm touching it. But the handles are just, I mean, they're awesome. I mean, don't get me wrong, it gives me great traction. So the biggest thing is like, okay, this Benchmade or Spyderco, which are the two companies that I buy the most from that are American. Do they give you kickbacks? Do they keep up with the retail companies that they outsource to sell their products at retail? After they've said that they can't drop their price more than 40%, do they say, oh, Joey over here, he's bought 10 Benchmades in the last 2 years, and they each cost $150 a piece. So he's spent $1,500. We're going to let him buy any Benchmade he wants for 50% off. Send him a little coupon in the mail. Has anyone ever done that to you? Now, I'm not talking about Blade HQ or Knife Works or Knife Center. I'm talking about the company of Benchmade or Spyderco. I love them. Don't get me wrong. I'm a big fan of American-made knife companies, especially those two. And I'm a huge fan of Cold Steel because you get a lot for your money. If you don't mind, you know, excuse my language, but if you don't have pussy hands, the lock is really not going to bother you. You get used to it. And it actually gets softer with use. And that triad lock is just awesome. I mean, I've talked about that in my older videos, 2 and 3 year old videos, when I first got into knives. And it's awesome. Anyway, but they're all made in Taiwan, you know, just about all of them. You know, I know they're making a couple that, the 4 Max, I think, was made here. And anyway, I think they made another one here. I can't remember the name of it. But, you know, I'm not talking about them because they weren't made here in the United States. I know Cold Steel outsources their G10 and their CTS steel out to Taiwan, and it's made there and then sent back here. But you know, I'm just saying that they're not giving me nothing special, and it's my money. You know, it's our hard-earned money in a crappy, you know, economy nowadays. You know, that we're you know, it's our bread and butter that we're spending because we have this knife addiction. You know, we're not knife addicts. I'm a knife addict. I mean, I'll go ahead and say I'm addicted to knives. It's like a drug. And I mean, someone would see this video and be like, man, you're a sick dude, or you're sad. Well, I think they're art. I think it's just it's a tool that you can use. It's not like buying cologne. My brother is big into buying cologne. You spray it all and it's gone. And he's spending the same amount, if not way more, on bottles of cologne that last him about 6 months to a year, maybe, depending on what it is. Creed, Arventus. Yeah, Aventus. I'm thinking of the Arventus. They got a new Arventus, the Benchmade. But anyway, yeah, any of the Creeds, Green Irish Tweed. I think the cheapest one's like Silver Mountain Water. And I love them. Don't get me wrong, I don't like Silver Mountain Water. But Aventus is the crap. And Green Irish Tweed is my favorite. And, you know, I get him in little sample bottles from him, you know. But and I'll give him a knife here and there, like a cheaper knife, like a Ontario Rat 1 or something. But I'll digress on that. You know, it's just the fact of you get a knife, especially if you like it enough, and if you can afford it, you get a second one so you can use it, and you keep that first one in mint condition, even on cheap knives. I'm not saying the resale value, again, is going to be good on these, unless they get in some kind of trouble and can't produce them like this anymore. Then I think they're going to go way up in price because of what you're getting. You know, you're basically getting a not quite as smooth as Benchmade axis lock, which is pretty darn. I haven't done spine whack tests with it, but I mean, I've cut myself a lot. I mean, through the years, I don't know if all that's going to show up on video, but I mean, those of you that follow my channel, you know that I've cut myself a lot, and I care about the locking mechanisms. And I haven't bought a Ganzo that has a liner lock like the Spyderco copies. I'm just kind of like, yeah, Spyderco and Benchmade, it's really hard for me to buy one that they copied. But this is a line steel SR1. I don't own a line steel. I'm not going to pay $300 for a line steel. The ones that aren't in D2, and I don't like D2. That's just my opinion. But anyway, so let's cut this short because I know that I've been rambling too much. You compare those right there. Okay, so to your regular Spyderco Paramilitary 2. Okay, this is $122.95 now because they can't sell it for less than 40% off MSRP anymore. Okay, companies. And there is your Ganzo. That's going to pick up. And so if you go blade to blade, you're about right there. I don't know if that's going to show you well, because this one, you know, they got that weird handle that kind of slopes like a Glock or something. But yeah, so that's those two together. Okay, and this is, you know, a great knife, whatever. Do I think it's one of the more strong locks? No, I don't. Anyway, we'll get off that. Benchmade Griptilian. Now, this is how soft you can make the axis lock. Okay, that's Benchmade Blue Lube. Blue Lube, it's cheap, and I put it on all my folders, including this Ganzo. And this has a way heavier blade, but look, I'm pulling down, and it finally shut. Yeah, way heavier blade should drop faster, in my opinion. And compare it to the Paramilitary 2, bam. So, I mean, yeah, it's not quite as smooth, and I'm glad it's not quite as smooth, because if it was, I'd be like, God, I think Benchmade's ripping us off or something on the lock. But no, I'm picking. I do think that a lot of people's prices are like ridiculous, but competitive options to the Ganzos. They copied this one. That's Ontario Rat 1, and this is the original Rat 1. I don't really care for the Ontario model ones. I want to see Randall's Adventure Training on it, because they quit making it. And I think that, you know, they'll be worth something one day. And I EDC this knife right here, not this particular one, but an orange one that I actually gave to my nephew, Cameron. Cameron, if you're watching, hey. Anyway, I gave Cameron because he uses knives a lot. And he works with his Uncle Johnny Ray doing air conditioning stuff on the side. And he's only like 14 years old, which is awesome. And he's beat the crap out of it, but he's taking care of it. And I EDC'd that knife for 3 years. It was one, I always carry 3 knives. It was one of those 3 that I always had 90% of the time. And then you have, and that one's about $30, $35. Now they're probably a little higher if you get the Randall's Adventure Training, unless you get a deal or it's serrated. Because, you know, most of us don't like serrations. I don't anyway. Everybody knows this one. Cold Steel Finn Wolf, $35. That's the average price on it. Yeah, it's a Scandi grind, sort of, and yeah, I guess it is. And yeah, it's a Puko blade shape, and it's kind of weird, but, and yeah, the handle feels good, but it's not real grippy. You know, the Ganzo blows it away. Ganzo blows it away as far as the feel of it. This 720, oh, and the 740 that I'm going to review, it feels better than all these knives except the Paramilitary 2. Just the way that G10 is, it's so close to this G10. In fact, the G10 is the same. In fact, I would say it almost ties in ergos, the 740. Y'all look that one up. It's not the copy of the Rat 1, but it's very close to the Rat 1. It just has a taller blade, like a taller blade in height from bottom to top. And I think it's about the same length. Correct me if I'm wrong, I think it's 3.74 inches. And it's a beast, and it's awesome. I'm gonna do my own review on that one because so many people have done reviews on the 720, and I know that there's this guy and this husband and wife that do reviews on the Ganzo, but you know, I like them. They're pretty funny, but this is my channel and this is my take on the Ganzos. To me, I think they're worth your money if you want a working knife, a quality working knife. It's made in China, yeah. But as a knife aficionado and somebody who collects and uses and is very picky, and I'm very picky about what I buy for my money. I want the best for my money. That's what this channel is about. It's not about budget folders. It's not about the most expensive folders. It's not about me showing off the most expensive products because I'm rich considering, you know, my neighbor or something. No, I'm not rich, by the way. I want to buy the best tool for the money. And if that happens to be a Chinese knife, so be it. I'd rather buy American. Yeah, but this is the point of the video, is that if I can get damn near the American quality in a Chinese knife that costs 1/10, just like somebody said, 1/10, one of the YouTubers, popular, said 1/10, less than 1/10 of the price of the real thing, and they change the lock and they change the steel, so be it. Who cares? It's your money. It's my money. You know, these expensive companies aren't giving you kickbacks. They're not giving you anything unless you're popular and you know this. You're this Uber YouTube person and they endorse you, which mainly Shrade does that from what I've seen. Or you're a part of the what do they call it? The Gauntlet people who all live in Ohio and know each other. You know, they get endorsed. Everybody knows they get some kind of kickbacks from someone. But, you know, and good for them. Hey, that's awesome. Cool. But anyway, that's about it. I just wanted to show this video, and I'm going to try to hold this camera pretty still. And I'm going to try to give you like a good panoramic of everything real quick. See if I can get it. All right, so you have the cold steel, which is 35. You've got the Ontario, which is about 30 to 35, okay? And then you have your Ganzo, which runs around 25 if you buy it on eBay from an American seller. Now, if you want to wait 6 weeks or so, yeah, buy it from China and you'll save $5 or $10. I said, screw that. You know, there's a couple of people on eBay that sells them straight out of California, and that's where I got them. And then you have your Benchmade, which is another step up. And then Spyderco Paramilitary, $122.95 right now, $97.50 right now, around 35, around, this one's discontinued, so I'm not real sure. They were around 30. And these you can get $20 to $25. So anyway, that's going to conclude my video for today. And I appreciate everybody watching. Thank you so much for all my subscribers. It means the world to me. I didn't start this channel to gain a lot of subscribers or to get anything from YouTube. I started this channel because of my passion for knives and my passion for music, but the music thing didn't take off very well. So, you know, I jam in my own time, and I go ahead and stick to my knife stuff because I'm so passionate about it. But anyway, I thank everybody for watching. I thank all my subscribers out there. I can name so many of you that I've talked to so many times right now, but I'm not going to because, you know, I just keep it secretive, I guess. If somebody wants to know who talks to me all the time, then look at my comments. But hey, comment on the video, and please no negative comments. I'll just block you. I don't like that. I don't leave that on other people's channels. If I don't like something, I just go to another video. Just, I mean, try to be a Christian or try to be whatever your faith is, you know. Most faiths, I'm gonna shut up. All right, well, God bless, and y'all take it easy and be safe. Peace.